Good evening, folks, and welcome to episode 015 of Bum Talk. I am your host, Chey Bums, and today my special guest host is the one and only Albert Rodriguez.
Hey, what's up, peoples? What's going on?
Who is also has his own YouTube channel, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's I think Hudson Gamer TV. Correct?
Yes, that I'm currently developing as I'm still working on it right now.
Okay. So I guess before we start breaking down all the fights and everything, do you mind me asking, like, what are you gonna cover on your channel? What exactly are you gonna do? Review stuff, or what is it?
Hudson Gamer TV. Right now, like, it's more like game reviews, and right now, like, we're still experimenting, like trying to find out new ideas, what's going on, and we are also doing it's also covering wrestling and
Pro wrestling, like WWE or New Japan, or
I would say WWE,
okay,
and maybe some outdoor indie stuff
like big indie stuff, like Ring of Honor, perhaps. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm trying to see if I could reboot it back in January.
Okay.
So once like
New Year, yeah, things quiet down.
Yeah.
But yeah, do make sure to check out his channel. Be on the lookout. Next month, hopefully, Hudson Gamer TV. I'll share it on my YouTube page and Twitter page. Do you have a Twitter page or just YouTube page?
YouTube page for now.
Okay, so I'll share it on our Twitter and also on YouTube. Make sure to check it out, Hudson Gamer TV. Albert, once again, thank you for being here as a guest host today. It means a lot. My brother's on vacation for 2 weeks, so yeah. So we'll see him in a few weeks. So let's get right to it. So busy week for combat sport, 2 UFC fights, and one big boxing fight, which we'll talk about boxing at the end of the episode. So let's talk about the Ultimate Fighter finale Friday night. Obviously, with the headline event was Kamaru Usman versus RDA. So Albert, I'll give it to you. What would you want to talk about first regarding the fight? Is there a specific fight you want to talk about?
Well, for the fight that happened on Friday night, I thought Rafael dos Anjos was gonna win that fight. It looked like it was pretty going much his way.
He was the favorite. He was the
favorite, like the first 2 rounds, and then I guess he must have gassed out after like the 3rd round, and it seemed like Usman just like
dominated. Yeah. The striking, you saw the ground control. So I was out. So I got back in the co-main event. So I caught the co-main event, which is the finale of Ultimate Fighter, and obviously the main event where Kamaru Usman just like Albert said, just dominated RDA. And I'm a big RDA fan when he was a lightweight champion a couple years ago and in the UFC. But I'm surprised Usman dominated. And then, did you catch the post-fight interview that he had in the octagon?
Not that I know of. Like, do you have the info on that one?
Yeah. So after the interview, he called out the champion, Tyron Woodley. Obviously, every time you want to call out champion, but Usman is on a streak. I'm looking at his schedule, at his fights. He's in the UFC. He's 9-0, 9 straight victories. So I don't know. I mean, he dominated RD. RD's a former lightweight champion. He's a former welterweight title contender. So, yeah, I mean, Usman, the ladder keeps climbing for him. So, we'll see what happens. Did you catch any of the fight or any fight that you liked in that card? Or
one thing I did like is I did like the co-main event of that fight, like Jose Espina versus
Justin, Frazier, which was the finale for the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
Do you watch that, by the way? Tough and Tough. You watch that Ultimate Fighter stuff?
I watched some of the episodes, but I didn't really caught this past season. But I did like I like how dominant Jose Espina was.
Okay, yeah.
Well, El Guapo.
El Guapo, yeah. So I'll be honest, I don't like the I do watch the finale, obviously, to cover the fight, but I cannot watch tough shows because it's for me, it's a reality TV show. It's all BS, it's drama. It's like Jersey Shore, but just MMA version to it. So I can't watch it. It's not my thing. But yeah, like Albert said, the winner obviously this year was a heavyweight championship tournament, and Juan Guapo Espino won. So I believe now what happens, I think he got $250,000, gets some kind of trophy, and then he gets a contract with the UFC. So wish him the best of luck. See what happens with his career and see where it goes. But yeah, I mean, besides that, the tough finale card is always kind of like a quiet card, you know. I caught those two fights because I was out the night. You said you caught all the fights or just those two fights too?
I only caught those two. I actually caught the third fight as well, which was the two.
The featherweight, right? The women's.
The women's featherweight match, which was
How was that?
Also pretty much one dominated. I forgot their names. I think it was.
I'll tell you right here. So I have Marcy Chiasson.
Yeah.
Who defeated? I'm pronouncing this wrong. Pani Kinzad via rear naked chokehold in the second round.
Yeah, and it was like I saw their story, like I saw their background, like she Marcy, that's her name, Marcy Piano.
Yeah, Marcy Piano. Yeah, so weird name.
So like her story was like she got shot when like a few years ago, and she had like a.
I know that.
Like she had basically a retribution story. Like she got over it and she became like an MMA fighter, and I think the other one was like more like she was like I think she was from Switzerland. I think.
So a European country, yeah.
Yeah, you're one of the European countries, and like it was interesting to see their promo before watching the fight.
Yeah,
because they're like apparently they're like best friends, and then from there they got like and. It was pretty much one dominated match, but this girl just like got her with the headlock and it was game.
So made it game over in the second round. Like I said, I don't know much about the fighters because I don't watch tough finale. It's not my thing. I just can't sit down and watch it in an hour. And honestly, if you watch an episode tough, it's literally 50 minutes of talk and crap, and then the last 5 minutes is the actual fight. So you're not really missing much. But yes, congrats to both winners of the Tough Finale Season 28. Once again, the heavyweight was Justin, Juan Espino, the heavyweight, and then the women's featherweight was Macy Chion. So congratulations to them for winning and becoming Ultimate Fighter Finale champions. Yeah, UFC had two fights this week, back to back, which you don't really see two UFC events in the same weekend once in a while.
Yeah.
The other one was last night, UFC Fight Night 142 from Australia. Junior Dos Santos, the former heavyweight champion, hasn't fought like in over a year, came back and knocked out some undefeated guy. I can't pronounce his name. Maybe you can. Is it Tai Tuivasa?
I think so.
I'm pronouncing yeah.
Australian guy.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, some kind of Indonesian background too, from what I read. But yeah, Junior Dos Santos laid him out in the second round via punches. I caught the fight today because I watched the boxing fight last night, and he just dominated this. He was undefeated, by the way, this Thai guy. So yesterday was his first actual professional loss. I think he's 8-1 now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But yeah, JD has dominated. You said you caught the fight too via DVR. What did you think about the Junior Dos Santos fight?
Well, I thought it was just pure dominance by Junior Dos Santos. I think he came, conquered, and took down
and in enemy territory, because I believe he was in Thai's home country or
in Australia.
Yeah, something to that degree. So obviously, hostile territory. He wasn't home. Came in, knocked him out in the second round, and I guess a guy like JDS, who's been former champion, with this win, I'm not saying it solidifies a championship fight, but he's definitely again in title contention. Depending what happens with the heavyweight champion. Dan Cormier is obviously heavyweight champion. We've heard rumors that Brock Lesnar wants to come back. So, the heavyweight division is a big mess.
Yeah, like after the post-fight match, I think he called out Alistair Overeem.
Yeah, they fought. I don't know if you saw a fight. They fought 3 years ago, and Alistair knocked them out.
Yeah, and he asked for like a rematch against him.
So
I don't know where that's gonna go.
I mean, so Alistair fought last week, and I don't know if you knew about that. He was in a co-main event in a card in China. He beat a nobody, so whatever.
Yeah.
So the fight that I want to see, since we're playing matchmakers here, do you know Francis Ngannou?
Yes, I know him.
So I don't know if you recall this. So last September, JDS was supposed to fight Ngannou on pay-per-view, but then JDS got hit with some kind of temporary suspension because he had some banned substance in his body. So they were supposed to fight. So now the plan is, because Ngannou won last weekend and JDS won this weekend, the plan is that they're supposed to fight sometime down early next year. But I think JDS is smart. He wants to fight Alistair just because he's a little older. He doesn't want to fight that young lion that can just knock him out. So I think JD is playing it smart. I'd rather fight the old man, and have a chance to fight this young up and coming guy and get my ass kicked or knocked the fuck out.
Well, if it's a better way for him to get back into the championship,
fighters will always look. It doesn't matter how good a fighter is. I think fighters always look for the best opportunity that get him to a title fight, and which is the easiest way to do it. Okay, if it's like asking me if I want to fight the best fighter or second best fighter, I'd rather fight the second best fighter, because then if I fight the best fighter, I might lose or get knocked out. So I'd rather you take your chances. It's like a gamble.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a good fight. Other fights in that card, obviously Mark Hunt, he was back home, but I guess the biggest story here is that I don't know if you read before any articles, is that this was his last fight on his contract with the UFC.
Ooh.
And the indications are that he's not gonna re-sign with the UFC. He might go somewhere else, but regardless, Mark Hunt is a big name in MMA history. He fought Brock Lesnar 2 years ago.
Yeah,
remember that. But yeah, so no one knows. This could be his last fight. I guess the UFC hasn't gotten into the part of the negotiation process, but he lost the fight. I caught the fight. He lost to Justin Willis, I think his name was, something like that.
Yeah, I think that was his name. Well, right now the thing is that Mark Hunt, his record is 13-14.
Yes, under 500.
And so he has not I don't see to me, after he lost that fight, I told myself that he is on a one-way ticket to Bellator, and
Mm-hmm.
I would actually see him at Bellator, because that's usually what a lot of these
that lately has been the indicator where if your time in UFC is done, you go to Bellator. But then also I'm not sure if you keep up with other promotions. Risen in Japan is a very big MMA promotion. One championship who's gotten very big these past couple weeks. I don't know if you heard about the trade between Mighty Mouse and Ben Askren.
Yeah, I heard
Eddie
about
Alvarez
that.
went to one championship. And then, do you know Super Sage Norcuff or no? You know who that is?
Yeah, I heard of Sage Norcuff.
You heard about him, right? What happened?
Yeah.
So UFC didn't re-sign him. He finished his contract 6-2, 2 losses. They decided to resign. He signed one championship. It was based out of Singapore. So that's another big promotion coming up. So maybe Mark Hunt might consider that if the UFC doesn't sign him. And obviously, I'm not sure if you know, but it's been kind of well documented that Dana White and Mark Hunt do not kind of get along, or are not on the same page, to say at least. So who knows? But Mark Hunt, he's still a great class fighter. He fought Brock Lesnar. I still think he's a good fighter, even though his record's under 500.
Yeah.
But wait. So you mentioned a good point. Now, but you mentioned his record under 500. He's 13-14.
Yeah.
You know Conor McGregor, right?
Yeah.
You know his teammate Artem Lobov, LOBOV.
Yeah.
So this is where nepotism comes in politics comes in, because it applies to anywhere, whether it's government or a business or fight. So obviously Artem is connected to Conor, no doubt about that. Artem, I don't know if you know, he fought 2-3 weeks ago. He lost. He's 2 fights under 500. UFC won't release him.
I guess
politics, nepotism.
Politics.
Yeah, because
obviously,
because there was an article that came out UFC does not want to re-sign Super Sage Norcuff, who's a big star, but yet you want to keep Artem, who is under 500, 2 fights, and he fights on prelim cards usually, or maybe the first card in the main event. But it's nepotism, it's politics, whatever you want to call it. It's just favoritism, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing to me.
Well, he is Conor McGregor's boy, so he
has a lot of pull. Yeah,
he has a lot of pull. So
it's part of the game. So I won't be surprised if Mark Hunt doesn't get re-signed by the UFC. Like I said, goes to Bellator, one championship, or any other promotion. But anyway, if this was Mark Hunt's last fight in UFC, I've seen him fight multiple times. Great guy. Wish him nothing but the best. But yeah. And the other fight we forgot was the co-main event, right? It was the veteran who's been fighting for years, Shogun Rua, who I believe was a champion 10 years ago, lightweight heavyweight champion, against, I can't remember the guy's name. Oh, Tyson Pedro.
Tyson Pedro.
Yeah.
That was an insane
yes. Fight. Shogun Rua, because he's old, he's up there. He looked like a young, when he was champion. He just, I believe he knocked him out or something.
The thing was that with that fight, it was something he twisted his ankle and he fell down, and then Shogun Rua just kept knocking him, like kept attacking him.
I see, yeah. I
the
see.
referee didn't want to stop the match, and then he saw that like he wasn't defending himself, and the referee stopped the match.
So yeah, so that's so for those who don't know, usually the case is a ref won't stop the fight unless a fighter is defensive. If he's not, putting a hand up or anything, then
yeah, but like it was like for like a very long time. Like I figured like he would have.
So you thought the ref should have called it earlier then?
Yeah, because he obviously he obviously messed up something with his knee
because he fell.
Because he fell, and like after the fight, he seemed like he was like in a lot of pain.
Okay.
And I figured like he should have stopped the fight as soon as he was defenseless for a while.
I do agree with you, but I think one of the hardest jobs I think in life is being a referee, whether it's in combat sport or basketball or football. It's just because there's so much when you're a referee, there's so much discretion. Like when do you decide this is over? When does it stop? When so referee's job is not easy, whether in any kind of sport. So I'm sure, like I said, through your eyes and your lens, no pun intended, you said okay, the fight should have been called earlier. I kind of saw it. I go, yeah, I agree with Al. The fight could have been finished a little earlier. I'm sure you ask most people, they'll say the same thing, or they go, oh no, and they're right. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Mauricio Shogun Rua, he's been around. I'll tell you, he's been around. He's 37 years old. He was a former UFC, I believe, light heavyweight champion. I don't know how long ago he was. But yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Shogun Rua. Like he's been around since 10.
Like, I'll tell you right now.
Almost 15 years.
The UFC has been around since 2007, so it's going to be 12 years next year.
Yeah.
He was champion in Pride. It was a big Japanese MMA promotion back in the day.
I remember when he had his first match against
was it Alistair Overeem? I think he fought Alistair Overeem.
Yeah, Alistair Overeem, and then he had a match with the the Iceman.
Chuck Liddell. Yeah, so I'm looking right here. Did he fight? Yeah, he knocked out Alistair Overeem, but back in Pride before he went to UFC. He did fight the Iceman. Speaking about the Iceman, since you bring that up, and me and my brother did not cover that fight because we just don't think it should cover. Did you watch or did you catch any highlights between Liddell Ortiz 3?
I heard about what happened. I heard that it was so bad. It was bad. It was horrible.
It was. So me, I'm sorry to cut you off. So me and my brother, we watched it, a legal stream. I'm not gonna pay $40 to watch two 50-year-old men fight. So but it was bad. I mean, even if you're not an MMA fan, you figure Tito's gonna win because he's younger, right?
Yeah.
5 years younger, and he just retired last year. Liddell hasn't fought in 7 years, so if you ask anyone, they're gonna say, yeah, most likely Ortiz is gonna win. He's younger, and he last fought about a year and a half ago. Liddell, I think, retired 2010, 2011.
Yeah, like 2010. His last fight was against Rich Franklin.
Yeah, he got whipped.
And he got whipped. And you know what's funny about that fight was that Rich Franklin had a broken arm. He still.
I didn't know that. What I did know about Liddell is that with that fight, he lost his last 5 out of 6 fights or something like that. So then apparently Daniel's Holmes, just cut it, and then I don't know why he came out of retirement. I mean, this trilogy should have been done years ago. I mean,
millions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, of course, yeah, I know. But yeah, I mean, obviously everyone knows Chuck Liddell has done so much for the sport. I think for me, Chuck Liddell made UFC become mainstream.
Yeah.
Or at least more acceptable, because UFC was obviously just like, kind of, I don't want to say like pro wrestling, but it was kind of just like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say taboo, maybe partially taboo, but guys like Liddell, Tito Ortiz, before Brock Lesnar and John Jones and all that stuff. Who else I'm looking for? I'm forgetting. Forrest Griffin.
Yeah. Those
guys, they help make the sport what it is now. I mean, yeah, now we have superstars, but these guys helped the sport. Richard Evans, these guys made the sport at least mainstream, then get accepted by society. But that fight, me and my brother saw it. It was horrible. We just, as soon as the fight finished, I knocked out. I don't want to watch any press conference. I just knocked out.
I don't blame you. Like, the fight itself, like the pay-per-view only drew like 30,000.
And I'm not sure if you knew. So it was $40, but then Fight TV had a Black Friday special for $20. And me and my brother thought, you know what, $20, we'll go half and half. But then Fight TV, the day of Black Friday, announced through Twitter that because of some kind of like, I don't know, some kind of like rules with the promotion, they can't put it on sale. So we go, no, I'm not gonna pay $40.
Wow.
Something like that. Yeah, there's some kind of clause in their contract where they couldn't put it on sale because I guess they wanted their maximum money for it.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't pay $40. We saw $20. Okay, we'll pay for it, but then they put out a tweet that they can't. There's no more sale. So
that's so.
It was a bad fight. I'm telling you, bad fight. But it is what it is. That trilogy's over.
Yeah. So
the trilogy everyone's waiting for, and we'll talk about that later on. Is Jones versus Cormier 3. You know, this has been going on for next month will be 4 years. So
yeah.
That's the trilogy we're all waiting for. So we'll get there. That's probably one of the best trilogies in MMA history. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is there anything else about UFC you think we should cover? Or anything that you want to talk about or like, MMA related?
When you mentioned that, but first he has to accomplish a big obstacle, which is Alexander Gustafsson's son.
Yes, that fight is a New Year's Eve weekend. Yeah, so that UFC usually has this thing where they end the month in a big bang. So not only and there's another title fight. Cyborg is fighting Amanda Nunes. Amanda's going up 10 pounds. So not to get too ahead of ourselves because we'll talk about that in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If Amanda does beat Cyborg, Amanda's resume is she beat Ronda Rousey. She beat Miesha Tate. She beat Shevchenko twice already. And then she beat Cyborg. She's hands down the greatest women's champion ever.
No questions asked.
No question. She already beat Miesha. She destroyed Miesha and Ronda. She beat Shevchenko was considered a top fighter too twice. So she beat Cyborg. It's hands down. Her career could be crap after that, but she's already considered the greatest.
She's gonna go down.
As the greatest.
If she wins that fight.
But I mean, obviously that's the end of the year. UFC usually likes to end the year in the bang, so we'll talk about that. You know, end of the year. There's another fight next month for UFC. UFC 231. We'll talk about that next week. But anything else you want to talk about before we get to our big main event last night?
I think we covered most of the stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it was a good fights for UFC. But last night, for the first time, I read this in many articles. For the first time since 2002, it's been a heavyweight headliner pay-per-view in the United States. I think it was the last one was. I think I'm probably wrong. I do apologize, internet. I think it was. They said it was Lennox versus what's this guy's name? Tyson. I think was the last headliner heavyweight pay-per-view in the United States. That was 16 years ago. So last night we all got a treat, I guess. I'm not a big heavyweight fan. I don't like big guys. I don't. But last night we saw Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder for the WBC heavyweight championship. And you said it before we started recording. I wanted you to say exactly what you told me last night about the fight. What was your reaction?
I thought it was a great fight.
Ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. I thought at times Tyson Fury was those knockouts that Deontay Wilder did yesterday. Oh my god, those knockouts were insane.
Vicious.
This guy Tyson Fury pulled the Undertaker and just came back
Yeah, you saw the memes last night.
Yeah.
I saw them on Twitter so like I told Albert, if there was an extra round or I'm giving an extra round, I think maybe it would have gone the other way.
Yeah.
Because he got up the last second. Imagine he didn't get up. Then it's over. But besides that, I guess the biggest thing last night is that for some weird reason, this fight ended in a controversial split draw. Now, I am no boxing guru. I'm not a judge or nothing, but if you watch that fight, Tyson Fury clearly won the fight. He won, I think, maybe 9 or 10 rounds he won. And I'm no boxing expert, I can't keep counts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But to me, Tyson Fury won. And honestly, I'll be honest, I was going for Deontay Wilder the whole time. I've been a big Deontay fan since 2016. But that's not the case. So what do you think about the draw and the fight overall?
Well, for me, the fight overall, I've never seen these two guys fight before. Mm-hmm. So this was the first time I ever seen them fight in a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I thought it's like I said, Tyson Fury should have won that fight. It was
dominated.
He just dominated. But I'm not for disclosed reasons. They're obviously gonna. There was a reason why they did what they did, and they're gonna have a rematch. So
1 word, more money. 2 words.
I was going for the C, but okay.
What are you gonna say?
I was gonna go for the CORRUPT.
Oh yeah, and so I guess corruption and money go together kind of to a certain extent. So yeah, so we're both thinking the same concept but just different. So yeah, so money and corruption kind of do go together hand in hand. And then so last night me and bro were texting. And he said the same thing. He's like, "Wow, this sport is really really corrupt." And it's not being biased here, just because I'm a Waller fan. I was going for Waller and I thought Fury won.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what he said, it is corrupt, which hence means they want to make more money.
Yeah. So.
Which, like I did mention to Albert before the fight, I believe in Deontay's contract clause. He has the option for rematch. I think they should rematch. Why not? I
think so too.
This kind of reminds me of. I'm sorry. Did you watch a Canelo Triple G fight last year?
Yes, I did.
So I wasn't here, but I caught the highlights. I was in Colombia. That ended in a controversial draw, apparently, right? Yes,
it did.
Because from what I've been told is that Triple G won that fight last year.
Yeah, he did.
And this year too. I think Triple G won this year too, but that's another topic. So, like I said, it plays back to this idea that there is some kind of corruption in boxing.
Yeah.
Because you don't see this a lot in UFC. You don't see this a lot in MMA. I think in general, wrestling obviously is scripted, so you can't really unless it's the Montreal screw job. But that's another story.
Yeah.
But you don't see it in MMA a lot. Judges getting it wrong. Maybe once in a while you'll see it, but in boxing it's pretty prevalent, I think.
But the thing is that with boxing is that it's always been like that for years,
since the dawn of age. And boxing is more old. I mean, I could be wrong. Boxing is a much older sport, I think, than pro wrestling. I think.
Yeah.
It's definitely older than MMA. MMA's only been around for like 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, since the dawn of the day, it's always been corrupt. It's always been talked about. It's back in the day during the mafia eras, there's mob ties with boxers, so it's always been this kind of like this whole notion behind it, there's some kind of corruption or whatever. So,
but
it's part. It's part of the game.
It's part of the game.
Yeah,
that's all there is.
I don't want to make it sound like that simple, but it's just the way the boxing world works. Like I guess it's corrupt. I don't know.
And I completely agree with that.
I wonder what Max Kellerman thinks about this. You know Max Kellerman, right? The HBO guy, he does First Take.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but
Stephen A. Smith.
I haven't seen his stuff.
Well, yeah, he's just a big boxing guy. He has a show tomorrow on First Take. I'm sure he'll talk about the show with Stephen A. Smith. I'm sure tomorrow, all the media outlets, ESPN, all these daytime show hosts are gonna let you talk about the fight. But yeah, my guess is just like you said, greed and corruption and rematch sometime in the next few months. Which funny story, I'm not sure if you know this. Do you know that? So you know that obviously Deontay was a champion coming into this fight, right?
Yes, I did know that.
WBC. But do you know this? Do you know that was Tyson Fury's belt? You know that? So Tyson Fury is a lineal champion. Do you know what that is, or?
Wait, so his belt was on the line basically?
Yeah, so he just lost the belt because he had a mental issues and I think also a drug problem. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
So he had to vacate the belt, but so he never lost it. So he technically had it. But Deontay won the belt after he had to vacate because due to personal reasons.
Yeah.
So he is the actual real champion. Just doesn't have it because he had to vacate it.
Yeah.
So
wow, that's kind of interesting.
I'm not sure if you know about Fury. So Fury was out for about 2.5 years. He had a bunch of mental problems, drug problems, and then he said in a Showtime interview this week, I think on All Access, that he last year weighed about 400 pounds because he had I think depression. It was, I'm not sure, some kind of mental issues.
Wow.
And some kind of, I think it was cocaine. He had some kind of drug problem. So it was a redemption story for him. He was out for 2.5 years, even more, I think.
Yeah.
And he came back to reclaim his title. That's why they call him the Gypsy King. He's a gypsy. Well, his family's gypsy. So yeah, that's it. It's for me, the fight for Tyson Fury is the redemption process. Like you said, everything he went through. Like you mentioned that UFC woman fighter, her story behind. So that's the beauty about sports. Sometimes there's a story behind every fighter, and Tyson obviously couldn't capitalize last night, and then maybe in a few months we'll see a rematch.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So if there was a date where you see this rematch happening, what would you think it would be?
So, do you know the boxer Anthony Joshua?
Okay.
British boxer, you know him?
Yeah. Well.
So he's the undefeated heavyweight champion. Boxing has 4 main belts. AJ has 3 of them.
All right.
Fury Wilder has won. So this guy AJ is fighting in April. So I would assume the rematch will be around that same time, more or less, early spring, maybe in the window of March, April. Just because AJ guy who's a British boxer is fighting in April. So in that window of March, April fight.
Yeah, that sounds like about right.
Because the whole point, obviously in boxing, it's a lot of scenarios, like what ifs kind of thing.
Yeah.
The point. So apparently, if Wilder did win yesterday, then he was scheduled to fight Anthony Joshua in April for all 4 belts to unify the division. But obviously that's not the case. So now I think Anthony Joshua's fighting someone else who's not what they want to fight, but it is what it is. So I would think, like I said, March, April, they'll fight for the rematch. And then maybe at the end of the year, you can see this Anthony Joshua versus Fury Wilder winner, whatever happens. Unless we get another draw and then we get a part 3.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I don't know. But the fight was just my mouth was open. I was like this, like jaw drop. I was watching that fight and I was watching some college football because it was at a bar.
It's funny. Like, I don't know if you noticed it. Do you notice like all the taunting that Tyson Fury was doing throughout the whole?
Yeah, it's part of his gimmick. It's part of like. So see, that's why I say. So that kind of stuff, the promotion. You see Conor do it all the time. That to me is the WWE part of boxing and MMA. Like the promos. You're selling the promos. You're hyping it up. That's just part. That's part of the show. That's kind of like the WWE in that. Conor's the best at that. Tyson Fury's a phenomenon on the microphone. If Tyson Fury, if he was a pro wrestler, he'll be a great heel. His mic skills are ridiculous. Deontay's not that bad. But some of these fighters trash talks, they can be in WWE easily. Their promo skills are they're
off the charts.
Yeah, better than some WWE wrestlers. Promo skills. But Tyson Fury is a very, I don't want to say enigmatic. He's a very charismatic guy, to say the least. If you watch some of his interviews, actually I'll send you some of his post fights interviews. This guy he's very special, very charismatic, just way with words, just a bunch of trash talking. But his promos are crazy. You saw how they came in, the fighters?
Yeah, I saw like this guy came out with I forgot Wilder. He came out with this rapper.
Yeah, I forget the guy's name, but he had the mask on and everything.
I was like, yeah, I've never seen this in boxing before.
Well, yeah, usually it happens for the big boxing fights.
Yeah.
And but that was probably the last big boxing fight end of this year. There's still a few more fights left, but that was probably the biggest one.
Yeah. I think next week there's like a Canelo fight.
2 weeks. Which is on streaming, which is on the Zone. Which I think, I guess we can finish on that note. I think streaming is the future for fights. Obviously, WWE was the first one to do it 4 years ago, I think, when they launched.
Yeah.
UFC now, I don't know if you know, their deal with Fox ends in December. They're on ESPN Plus, which is a streaming service of ESPN. WWE has a network, obviously. The Zone, which I do have, which do get for the fight. It's free the first month, so you can watch Canelo fight for free if you want. Then it's $10 after. The Zone has the rights for Canelo, a bunch of other belts. Anthony Joshua is on the Zone. Bellator is on also the Zone. So to me, the future is streaming. Obviously, I think you heard HBO boxing is done this year. I don't know if you read about that.
Yeah.
No more HBO boxing. They're done. They're out of the game.
Wow.
Yeah, just because the numbers have gone down, and then, I mean, if you break it down, like last night's fight cost $75. Not everyone can afford that. Obviously, if there's a group, you all pitch in. But like, if you ask me, would I rather pay $75 for a fight or pay $10 a month to watch quality fights? I'd rather pay the $10.
Yeah.
So I think Showtime eventually. Showtime is the only last boxing pay-per-view left because HBO is done. The Zone has almost everybody. ESPN has their own. ESPN also has their own boxing thing with Top Rank Promotion.
Yeah, and I think also Fox's
PBC. Yeah, which is weird. PBC is owned by Showtime, so it's like a weird partnership they have there. So I think Showtime down the line might stop doing pay-per-views.
And they might go more in network.
Either more streaming or remember Showtime's owned by CBS. that's their parent network. So I can see Showtime probably doing big fights on CBS, the actual network. Because I remember Mayweather a few years ago wanted to do a fight on CBS because he was with Showtime, but that never kind of like came into fruition.
Yeah.
But we're getting here too technical, just nerding out about TV rights and everything and streaming services. But I do think the future of streaming, obviously, look at real fast: Netflix, Hulu, Sling TV, even music, Tidal, Pandora, Spotify, Apple, everything to stream.
Yeah, everything's going cheaper and more.
Exactly.
Efficient,
I mean,
so.
everyone wants that. So I everything with me is streaming. I have Sling TV. I don't have regular cable. I have Hulu. I have Netflix. I have DAZN. I have WWE Network.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get ESPN Plus because now UFC is leaving on Fox. A little sad about that.
Yeah.
I gotta pay more money now.
I think it's I think it's like a 5-year
It's
deal.
cheap actually. Yeah, it's a crazy deal. I think 5 for a lot of money they're asking.
Yeah.
But ESPN Plus is actually cheap. It's only $5 a month compared to other outlets. I also have Showtime, so I pay for that too. So yeah, it's not easy being a combat sport fan, having always subscriptions and always networks. But Albert, I want to thank you again for being on the show, for being a guest host. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anything you want to say to the fans?
I thank you so much, Caesar, for having me. I think yeah, so look out for Hudson Gamer TV. That's
January 2019. Hopefully, cross your fingers.
January 2019. Crossing fingers. See if everything's hopefully everything we get done then. Anything else? And I enjoyed being here today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And if you ever need help or anything, or if you need me to guest host with you an episode or whatever, I'm available. Thank you all again for tuning in. There'll be an episode next week. This episode will be uploaded the latest tonight or tomorrow morning. Albert, thank you again.
No problem, Steve.
That's it. Peace out, guys. Take care.